Okay, so this is my second attempt at my index card a day video. Now, what we're going to be doing is a technique called Suminagashi, and I found it in this book here, which is called Just Paint It by Sam Piacina and Beverly Phillip. And I'll put a link to this book, but honestly this is the best art book I have bought in a very long time, and I really love it, and yeah, I really recommend it. And it's this kind of technique. What is this technique? I haven't done it before, apart from the previous video that didn't work, and I produced these cards. In fact, the previous, it did work, it was just really rubbish. And this one here, I'm not doing autofocus any favours, it's not loving me. I said, but it's all kinds of cool. And the reason that I chose to do this for this technique, I'm just moving it back, is because it's index card a day, which is all about experimentation, isn't it, and trying new things, and because it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day it is just an index card. And so for this technique what you need is some terps, or turpentine rather, and I've got used in oil paint, and I have used this Winsor & Newton and a Reeves colours for some of them as well. And then you mix the terps and the oil paint until you get them. The instructions said the consistency of double cream. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but it's kind of, it's thicker than water. I'm assuming it's just like what we call normal cream here, not whipped or anything, or thickened, but you know, this works. If it's too heavy it'll sink to the bottom, and so you know to add in more terps. And if it dissipates and dissolves, and my first lot did in my first video, which would have been useful to see my stuff ups to get it to this consistency, it just completely dissolved as soon as it hit the bottom. But anyway, we'll get started so that this video isn't completely rubbish too. And I've got a tray here with some water, which is room temperature-ish. Oh, so that's two. That is what I mean by the dissolving. Although I think that there is some of that before it all starts. Oh, we'll just work with that. The orange just actually dissolved like that last time as well. Maybe that's like a problem child. See, that bit stuck to the bottom. Oh, so that's okay. See, this is still all about experimentation, and I'm going to go stark raving mad with this technique because it is not relaxing at all. But you know, it's useful, isn't it? Because this is what experimentation is all about, seeing what works and what doesn't. So I will just, I've added more terps in. You can't see it, but there's, oh, see if I can move it up. There you go. So this orange has split up into that little tree branchy rooty root sort of pattern. And so it's basically, yeah, floating paint on the water, a lot like marble. And when it first goes down, it's kind of, oh, you can't even see any of that. It's kind of blotchy, but then if I focus it now, you'll see this green. See it, like after a little while it starts to spread a little. I'll use some see, and you can see that it just, that's all kinds of cool. So I'll pull it away a little bit. I have absolutely no control over how this is ending up, and so I don't know how these green ones are looking more striking than, I'm guessing it's just the level of tubes in them. And maybe the brush. And so I am just adding the paint in. Now you can swirl sticks or toothpicks or feathers through it to get it to the look how you want it. I think the orange is looking quite cool, isn't it? And I will so the colour gets a little constricted by the other colour that goes in. I guess like any other floating technique, it pushes up against the boundaries of the other colours, and it kind of restricts how it goes. And I think definitely if you're going to do this, and I will play with different, it did say to play with different sticks, and I'll show you, because the stick has been very unsuccessful for me, at least in the other, oh that's not too bad, the other video the stick was just all kinds of not great. In fact, I wonder, because I want some of that stronger blue, and so I'm also being, I don't want it to look completely hodgepodgey as well. So it starts off as like one big ball of colour, and then it just kind of goes, breaks up in the water. And then once you've got it how you're kind of happy with it, you get your paper, or in this case your index card, and you chuck it on top. And then you very carefully pick it up. Oh, and you have this pattern of oil paint. And if you've heard of oil paints, you know it takes a little while to dry. Oh, I am loving this. And this technique doesn't. Once the water's come up, because I was tried on this, and the paper's completely dry once the water's dry. So that's kind of fun as well. Yeah. And so I guess it's just a matter of playing, and you know, it would make really cool end papers with perhaps nicer colours than just grabbing any out. And if you played with it a wee bit more, you could get some quite cool swirly, marbly kind of patterns for end papers for your book binding things. What I'm going to do, or try and do, is make a wee bit more of this blue mix. And I want a card that is quite blue. This colour is Prussian blue, and I quite like it. What I really liked when I saw this technique was that it used oil paints, but the book does say if you do get it, and I really recommend you getting it, that you can try it with, you know, inks and acrylic paint as well. It depends on how thick you make it up. So you don't want anything that's too thin, or else it's just going to dissolve with on the water. You just want it to float on the water. I did originally think that it had something to do with oil and water, and oh, I like that. Oil and water and not mixing, but you know, clearly if you can use acrylics and inks, then that's not the case, and I was just making things up. you know, and you can play and see what happens. Oh, that's just kind of cool. I wonder if I can capture some of that if I work quickly. See, look at that. That hasn't broken up like these other tree ones. My hands are covered in oil paint. And you can't really even see that. Oh, look at that. And you can see the difference, like these ones have all broken up and gone quite tree-like. Maybe there you can see the difference there. And lacy. The other ones, I would call them lacy, but oh my gosh, that's a bit of fun. And I quite like what's happening down here. I might... and I'm just letting my brush hit the water and kind of twirling it. You can see that paint is kind of heavy on my brush now, because that little bit that I just put on the bottom, see, it's staying on the bottom. But it's lifting up enough. I don't know when I would use this, maybe. I do think it would make some quite good end papers, but... Or, you know, like those ink block creatures, you could make little creatures of them, because I just saw a fish there, but I put the paint in the wrong place. But I quite like what just happened there when the paint pulled up, and so I'm just going to chuck another. But the longer you leave it, oh, I wonder if you could re-dab it down, because see, there's a gap here. So what would happen if I then reapplied it? Which is, you know, the point of index cards, isn't it? Playing and experimenting. Not a whole lot. And actually these index cards work quite well for picking up the paint. Okay, so I'm going to let these dry, and I will take some photos to put on my post as well. But yeah, so that's it. So you mix up oil paint, and I'll just flick you over to the oil paints so that you can... So the green, that's... Can you see it? I don't even know. It's kind of, yeah, double creamish, I guess, if you know what double cream is. It's thicker than water, but not so heavy like it first comes out of the tube. So... And you can't even see the orange that I'm playing with. So, yeah. I would definitely coat the back of a spoon, and I'm assuming that's what double cream is. So yes, there you go. I hope you do the technique and you try it out and you play and you experiment. And if you do, please let me know so I can come and see what you do and be inspired. And I'm going to play a little bit more and see what I can do with this. So enjoy it and have fun, and I will, yeah, thank you Tammy for asking me to do it.